Just a heads up, in addition to the holiday items that I've mentioned previously, we also have a few leftover Cozy Penguin plushies from our previous sale. So if you happen to miss out on it the first time, now's the chance to get it, with no pre-order wait time either. However, once these are sold out, this product will be gone for good. So make sure to grab yours while you still have the chance. Previously on the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve.
Mr. Naruhodo, be careful. It must be the trunk. What are you doing? You're gonna lick his face off.
He's not licking my face, Ginny. He's biting it. Oh my God. And now back to licking at people.
Oh!
NicoB. Back with some more of the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. When we last left off, oh my God, this game's the best. Yeah, this game is definitely the best. I think even if this game manages to completely shit the final case, I still will think it's the best. And I don't think it will, honestly. I just don't. The writing is just too strong at this point, all right? They know what they're fucking doing. What an amazingly smart twist that was. Just so fucking cool. So that in the end, it turns out Mikotoba is the real Watson. He's the real partner to Holmes. And it's so clever how they managed to play out our expectations by really making the stories that Iris writes. Basically, they're the stories that we read, right? Out in our universe, right? They're basically the same stories, but as we've seen, they aren't exactly always the same or always true. And it shows that even Watson himself is not actually Watson at all. It's Mikotoba. I am kind of curious though, because like the actual story. Oh no, that's right. I was about to say, well, why do they call him Watson in the story? That's right. No, it's because Iris thinks that was her father, or thought that was her father. That's why she calls him Watson in the story. I am looking forward to seeing the reveal to her. Hopefully, I'm hoping that happens. Hoping they don't just like hold that shit off and they don't tell her that Mikotoba is seemingly her actual father, right? We did sort of leave that also up in the air. I'm sure we're saving that for the very end. But damn, dude, so fucking good. Just such an incredibly smartly written twist that just it works perfectly. It's not an ass pull. It's not like oh, that's dumb. And no, it's so brilliant. I have to just fucking tip my hat to this game and the writers of this game, because they just killed it. It was amazing. And it adds a fucking shit ton of character too to now Mikotoba, right? Who we've already seen quite a bit in this game. We ended up seeing a lot more of him than I thought we would, and now I see why. And I love that Suzuto, like, she couldn't stay too mad, and only because she's like,
damn it, you're Watson and you hung out with the great Mr. Holmes. But you also could be, having an affair with some other woman or whatever, or Iris' actual dad. But also, I'm a huge fucking Holmes nerd, and you've been hanging out with him, and you're his actual partner again. But still, you might have been having sex out of wedlock, and might actually be.
It's like that struggle, right? That inner struggle. I still imagine by the end of this, he's still gonna get himself Suzuto tossed. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out something like maybe her mother didn't really die. Like she went with him, or he met her overseas, and it turns out they're like, that would make Iris like fully related to Suzuto. I don't know. I'll be very curious to see what the explanation behind that is. But anyway, last episode, Firdaus Katops. The hell, I don't know how you're supposed to say this. Firdaus They said, you have mastered the art of deduction. This is for me when it shows that Sherlock was just training Naruhodo the whole time with his deductions. One thing I saw from a comment on YouTube, remember the Saseki case? When Naruhodo came to the Garradeb's residence, Holmes was already looking out the window where the incident occurred. Wow. Yeah, that actually would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? That would make a lot of sense. Because the thing you have to remember here, I mean, it's not like Holmes and Mikotoba were always together for every one of his cases, right? It's not like, oh man, Mikotoba just, he's been there for every single one. No, he says that Holmes says they run into each other fairly rarely, right? The most of the time that they actually did stuff was seemingly back before Iris was around, right? Like back when they were much, much younger. And it kind of made you wonder, well, then how was he solving all these cases if he was always so insanely wrong? Like, I mean, like his general conclusions were right, but his logic was completely ridiculous. So I think we just sort of took it as, well, I guess he just sort of bumbled his way into it. But in reality, I think you're right. I think this is showing that he has just kind of been playing this crap up, right? And getting Naruhodo to see what he sees. And I think that's really cool. That's super cool. It also sort of explains too why, like, how does Holmes know that when we're right? When we give our logic in each of the cases, like we'll get penalized if we get it wrong, and it's usually Holmes that's like, what are you talking about, right? And it seems kind of weird that, well, if he's already like going off on his own weird tangent, then how does he know ours isn't, incorrect? It's because he's always known the truth. He always knows what the actual right answer is. So this really is more of a quiz than him actually thinking what he's saying is right. But for Das Kaptipi, thank you so much for your enlightening comment. That's a really cool insinuation. I'm just gonna assume that is what they were going for here. I really do. I think that would just make for such a cool conclusion to that. And it is for that reason you are comment of the day. I imagine it's likely going to be the last dance of deduction we're going to have in this game, which isn't too surprising since we're seeing now in the finale. What? Suddenly finale? So I'm actually almost wondering if we're even going to have any more investigation at this part. I kind of think not, since this is seemingly still part of the same case, right? If we had another investigation, that would actually make a third investigation section for the same case. And I don't know if we've ever had that before. And I think that would also kind of kill the pacing of the game. I don't know. I think this is probably going to be a pretty extensive final trial with probably some twists and turns, but I imagine our time outside of the courtroom is probably over. I am glad actually that this is actually going to be the final case, because I really did feel like if they went with like another case after the whole like trying of Van Ziek's, I think it would have just felt really weird, because that really does feel like, damn, this is like the ultimate showdown, the moment of truth, right? With Naruhodo defending Van Ziek's against his previous apprentice. It just seemed weird. Like, how is there going to be something else after that in the same game that could be any more of a plot crescendo than this trial? Well, I don't imagine this is the last episode. I don't know. I imagine we're probably gonna have quite a few trial parts, because there is a lot to work through here. It's not even just like, well, what the thing with Van Ziek's, but it's tying back to also the stuff that occurred 10 years ago and Asougi's father as well. So, all right, guys. Well, here we go. The final part of this Great Ace Attorney. Let's get started. Oh man, I'm so excited. So excited to see where this shit goes. Final. The Resolve of Ryunosuke and Naruhodo. It's a cool name. They said it. They said the thing, guys. No, Holmes and Watson story to start us off here. I guess at this point we already kind of had that, since it is the same case. So no, this is it. This is Naruhodo's time to shine. November 3rd, 9:14 a.m. The Old Bailey's defendant Saint's chamber. Ooh, am I drunk, or is this a... Oh no, this is definitely different. I'm like, this is not the same. Ooh, oh wow, it is really, damn. They even got a new rendition of like your pre-trial song. We're getting some like really amping the mood here. Shit, wow. Sounds so epic. It's getting me anxious.
So, the time's finally come, and so have I. Today, we unravel everything.
Everything these two games have been building up to.
We're all gonna fucking die. I'm counting on your support more than ever today, Miss Susto.
Oh god, she just like... She can't stop thinking about that shit probably, which would make sense.
Miss Susto?
I haven't used a toss in a while.
Oh no, what's the matter, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'm on the ground now. Nothing. I was just
like I just Naruto just continues to like nothing happened.
Nothing. I was just saying I'll be relying on your support today, but
I'm so sorry. Of course, I know I can be rather incompetent at times, but I shan't let you down. I shall only throw you down.
Do you mind helping me to my feet then?
Oh dear, I'm really very sorry.
Oh god! Tosses him right back, right side up again.
Ah, thank you. Sister San isn't her usual self at all. That's hardly surprising, I suppose. Just found out that her father is the partner of a world-famous detective, not to mention...
Good morning, sir.
Oh boy, you guys better have your head in the game, all right? It's getting a bit crazy in here today. Miss Sister, why do you look so pale? You look like your father just had sex out of wedlock. That is a very weirdly specific comparison, Lord Van Ziek. Shut up! Lord Van Zieks! Thank you for all your efforts yesterday. Though you suck. What? Did I hear that correctly? Oh my God, say it again. Shut up!
Now you say it again.
What? Oh, no, nothing. Just, I hope we can clear things up today.
Yeah, me too. Otherwise, I'm going to jail. It's all your dumb fault.
Really can't make this man out. His face says, I hate you. I hate you so much. But his words are almost jovial today. In fact, he hasn't been very Reaper-like at all since this began yesterday.
Lord Van Ziek isn't the Reaper, Miss Naruhodo. I think that's why we're here, remember?
All right. Good point. The Reaper. Suppose in hindsight, I shouldn't have allowed that misconception to go unchallenged. Even though I am sort of Reaper-like in my constantly cool appearance, right? I'm just such a badass. Huh? It was my tacit acceptance of that pseudonym. My failure to stop the Reaper becoming something more than a mere legend that led to all this.
But you're not to blame for that, Lord Van Ziek.
It's only because serious crime in the capital dropped off so sharply when the public started calling you that. That's why you didn't say anything, isn't it? True. It was kind of dope. To be frank, I'm not sure that was the sole reason. What do you mean? There was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the ghost of my late brother.
Oh.
That having been slain by that evil killer, Clint's relentless spirit returned as some sort of demigod, to wield a deadly blade of justice where I, by dint of the law, could not. Yes, we've heard that story too. When I lost him, I felt as though I'd lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. And so, in some small way, I wonder if perhaps those rumors made me feel his absence a little less keenly. Even if I knew it was just an illusion, just some nonsense conjured up by an over-imaginative public.
He was obviously extremely important to you, Lord Clint Van Ziek.
Well, what's important now is uncovering the truth. That's all that matters. I know that you didn't take anyone's life, and I intend to prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt in court today. I never thought I'd say this, but I can see it in your eyes, that burning desire to cut through all the lies and deception. I can't deny it any longer. You are a lawyer of absolute integrity. Thank you.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Now let's hug. Don't touch me.
Now tell me, why do I detect the scent of expensive tea leaves in the air? Oh, Iris, when did you get here?
Oh. I bought you some of my special blends. Holmesy loves it. He says it helps him to clear his head.
I thank you.
Oh, he's so dreamy.
I know I am. That's surely the first and last time I'll ever see a sight like this. You seem different today, Iris. Did you listen in on all the shit was happening?
Oh?
Sort of subdued, I suppose.
I am not. You're subdued, Rudo.
Okay, sure. Happened yesterday is obviously still playing on her mind a lot. She's clearly very troubled about having stolen that autopsy report from Dr. Sai's laboratory.
All right, then. Good luck to you both. You better win today or I'm going to shoot you with my gun. I have to make a move now. Oh, you're not staying.
She shoots a smoke grenade down.
Run, Van Ziek, run! I've cleared the way for you. Get out while you still can.
Okay, I'm going. Oh, I'm running. I don't know what's happening, but it's fine. I'm fine with this.
I thought you'd want to watch today's proceedings.
Well, I'd like to cheer you on, obviously. But I've got lots to get ready.
Get ready? For what?
probably the last moment I'm gonna save the day with my gun. Oh, yes. Would you take this?
What the heck?
It's a little Holmesy bunny!
Is that one of the little felt dolls that usually dangling from your knapsack?
Yes, it's a lucky charm. A little Holmesy that I made once.
A Holmesy? Looks more like a Harley to me.
Waka waka.
If for some reason you completely run out of options in the trial today, then just pull this little Holmesy's ears as hard as you possibly can.
What the hell? What's it gonna do? If I drop some fucking sleeping gas in the chamber? Knock everybody out? Then we also make a break for it.
That's your answer to everything, Iris.
I know.
What? Pull his ears?
That's right. It's a way to bring good luck. I think you might need it. You about to die today.
A little doll of Mr. Holmes in hair form. I've been told to tug his ears if I run out of options in the trial today.
You think what we'll need is luck?
I'm gonna do it right now. Pull it.
What a charming little rabbity version of Mr. Holmes. Do you suppose this is how Iris sees them?
He's too Looney Tunes.
Are you all right, Mr. Naruhodo? Your eyes are veritably boring into the poor doll's ears.
Oh, sorry. I was just wondering, what do you suppose would happen if I were to tug its ears with all my might right now?
I'm sure that we'll find out when the time is right.
Oh, come on. I want to do it now, though.
To become a proper gentleman, you really must learn to stoic patience.
I want to know. I want to know. Dang it. He's got a little knapsack and everything. Ah.
I just rip the ears off and nothing happens.
Shit.
You'll know when the time is right. Just do it in here right in front of Iris.
What the heck? Naruhodo?
What? I want to see what happened.
You broke my doll, you meaty!
Oh, why did you tell me to do it then?
I just sneaked a peek inside the courtroom, and it seemed very different to normal.
Yes, it would seem that a certain someone has decided to pull out all the stops. What does that mean?
Maybe I should poke my head in there.
What about Mr. Holmes, Iris? I don't know. He was out all night and he hadn't come home by the time I left this morning. Oh, I see.
Was Professor Mikotoba out all night too, do you think, Miss Susato?
Yes, it would seem so. I telegrammed the hotel this morning. And apparently they didn't come back to their rooms last night at all.
They?
Father and Judge Jigoku, I mean.
Oh. What is he? Yeah, we haven't seen Judge Goku since we met him at the hotel. What's he been up to this whole time?
Judge Goku too?
That's right. Nobody appears to have seen either of them since yesterday.
Counsel the defense of the defendant. Oh my god, this might be the last time I show up in this game. Court's about to be in session. Get your booty batooties and crumpets in here. Oh man, I'm gonna miss that guy.
Not.
Good luck then, Bruno. Good luck, Susie. Good luck, Reaper.
Thanks. Yes, thanks, Iris.
And you, Mr. Reaper. I hope it goes well.
Once again, I thank you for the delicious tea, but
Stop calling me that.
it was very soothing.
Oh, I'm so glad. We must go inside now, Lord Van Zieks.
Van Ziek seems disturbed.
Lord Van Zieks has always been the formidable prosecutor I've had to lock horns with in court. But not today. Today I battle with another in pursuit of the truth. My best friend, Kazuma Asougi, who I trust more than anyone else in the world. I am his Cinnabitch no longer. Today I make him my Cinnabitch. Now I understand what it was that drew me here to Britain all those months ago. Now I know exactly what destiny had in store for me. It's all been leading up to this fucking moment. This one day, to this one trial, to this one final reckoning.
Holy shit. Damn, they're fucking hyping us up. This is about to get crazy. All right, November 3rd, 9:30 a.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. Where's the judge?
It feels even more oppressive here than it did yesterday. Their cold stares pierce me like knives from all sides today.
Mr. Naruhodo, look.
Oh, hello. Lord Strongheart? Oh, fuck me. Uh-oh. Oh, this is what he meant. The big guns are coming out today, boys. Oh, wow. Interesting. I was imagining this is going to be like a, I imagine at some point we're going to probably call him to the stand, or we're going to call him to the stand. Bitch, he's like, I am the stand. I am the stand above the stand. Oh, shit. Is Old English Judge out of the picture now? He killed him and replaced him.
Cosmo must have known beforehand.
The ramifications of this trial now extend far beyond the murder of one Scotland Yard inspector. In fact, events have come to light that threaten to rock the very foundations of our country's legal system. The escape of a condemned criminal on the night of his execution. The subsequent unlawful shooting of the man. Hey, on the bright side, at least I don't have to worry about my voice sounding sort of like the English judge, even if it's just a bit. Yeah, cool. There's that, at least. And the revelation that prison staff must have been complicit in the jailbreak. Britain is currently hosting influential members of the judiciary from countries all around the world. It is imperative that we uncover the truth in these proceedings to avoid international embarrassment. By royal decree, this will continue to be a closed trial. Oh fuck, damn! And one over which I, Male Strongheart, exercise total and unequivocal authority. Oh shit! Oh fuck! I am judge, jury, and executioner.
The 6 jurors' flames just...
As was the case in yesterday's proceedings, those here present in the public gallery are distinguished members of our judiciary, assembled to bear witness to a fair judicial process. I see. This is why I said yesterday, this is all gonna end tomorrow, because I'm gonna see to it, motherfucker. Yeah, no, he's been in the top of all of this, right, since the beginning. He's the one that is like, we gotta cover this shit up.
In other words, a collection of your acolytes, Lord Strongheart.
On a personal note, I find this most distressing, Lord Van Zieks. You were a prosecutor of exceptional talent. Much like your brother, Clint, in fact. Don't you dare say this. Oh my god! Fucking smacking it with this weird cane thing. Wow, that made a hell of a noise, too. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. For the trial of Barack Van Zieks, who officially stands accused of murder. Oh my god, the music going in. Counsels for the prosecution defense, are you in full readiness to proceed? Defense is ready, my lord. Damn, you seem like he is standing tall above us, right? Like a god. As is the prosecution. Yesterday's proceedings brought to light a shocking and disturbing fact. There was a side to the victim, Inspector Tobias Gregson, that was unknown to his superiors at Scotland Yard. Yes, he was carrying out operations in secret, which Scotland Yard knew nothing about. And in those clandestine operations, he had an accomplice. Mr. Dally Vigil, who would be given the inspector's identification and present himself around the capital in order to establish credible alibis for Gregson. In that way, Gregson appeared to be carrying out his regular Scotland Yard work, when in fact he wasn't. At the end of yesterday's session, Mr. Vigil, who had been suffering from amnesia, regained his memory. It would appear he buried his memories of the time deep inside himself as a means of self-preservation. Because whilst he was engaged as chief warder at Barclay Prison, he abetted the convict's escape. Mr. Vigil is currently recuperating as St. Sinners. He's recovered enough to give us a signed statement about his movements on the day prior to the incident. He's formally admitted to posing as Gregson whilst investigating the Red-Headed League. Which brings us to the crucial issue of the victim's time of death. The defense yesterday proposed a suggestion that the victim may have been killed one day earlier. This was based largely on the discovery that the victim's pocket watch had not been wound. The prosecution has something to report on that subject, Miss My Lord. Really? Go ahead, Prosecutor Asougi.
This is interesting. I sort of kind of hit me too. I bet Strongheart was asking Asougi to do something that was like sort of like what he had asked of Scythe and also of Scythe's daughter, right? To do something that was maybe a bit off the books. Something that was either stretching the truth a bit or lying about something, right?
and Asougi refused to do it. I'm sure it's gonna come up here at some point, like a moment where he's supposed to say something but he chooses not to, or like refrains from it. And just like that, and, you know, that's, you hear Strongheart say, well, if he doesn't get in line with this, you know, because I like everyone to be a nice, well-oiled machine here, gonna have to do something about that, i.e. probably kill him, Reaper style, right? But yeah, Asougi still wants the truth. He's not willing to do anything to condemn Van Ziek's here, even though he does believe he's guilty. No, he still wants to find the truth. He still has his integrity, at least I believe so. I met once again with the coroner yesterday to discuss the issue. She confirmed that defense's suggestion could not be ruled out. It's entirely possible that Inspector Gregson was killed on the 31st of October, the day before his body was discovered. I have here an updated autopsy report that includes the amended details. But the official opinion of the investigation team was made clear yesterday that the time of death was 5 p.m. on November 1st. There are indications of an attempt to disguise the real time of death, however. It seems that the natural decaying process of the victim's body may have been slowed by keeping it chilled. Maybe that was it right there. Maybe this is what he wanted him to not talk about. That's out of the question. There are no refrigeration devices in that part of London large enough to accommodate a human corpse.
My lord, this is more than just conjecture. There's evidence to support the idea. We must investigate it thoroughly.
Very well. The court will accept the new report as evidence. However, if this updated report is deemed to be accurate, it would give renewed significance to the movement of the victim on the day before the Fresno Street incident. It would, yes, especially since on that day, Inspector Gregson was using Mr. Vigil to cover up his real movements. It's conceivable that he was killed in the course of his secret activities. Do I sense that the prosecution has some information regarding those activities? Scotland Yard put an enormous effort into investigating that precise matter yesterday. I think we should begin by presenting the results of that investigation work. So the prosecution calls his first witness now. Is it Gina? Yep. Say your name and occupation for the court.
Inspector Gina Lestrade, reporting. Representative of Scotland Yard.
A self-conferred rank, but never mind.
Gina, again? Oh, God. It's just not the same without the fish and chips.
What's your problem, Otto? What's with that Gina again? Look at
Get out of my head, Gina!
The boss meant the world to me. He done more for me than anyone else ever did, including you, Otto!
Oh, for God's sakes, really? I got you off a fucking murder trial. You would have gone to jail forever. It wasn't right.
Oh, Inspector Gregson, you mean?
He got me out of the back slums of the East End and took me under his wing. Told me that life can have a purpose. So that's why I'm the best person to be standing here speaking for him. Oh, Gina.
Right. All out of the goodness of Gregson's heart. Not all that he had his arm twisted by Mr. Holmes, no.
What's relevant to these proceedings is that the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations yesterday has revealed that the victim was carrying out some incitement the police knew nothing about. Very troubling.
That face. Lord Strongheart knew.
So, Inspector Lestrade, let's hear exactly what it says in that report.
Coming right up, sir.
Okay. Should be interesting. The victim's movements.
All yard detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told. But a little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook that had a load of secret meetings in it. According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggled goods dealings that day. Looks like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't onto it yet. What matters most is there's witnesses what saw the rape at the place too.
Huh.
Smuggled goods?
I don't know, do I? I'm just telling you what was written in the book.
Tobacco, tea, spices, medicines. Goods of all sorts flow into London by illegal channels from across the globe. It's well known that they're disposed of at regular black markets that take place in the capital. But the police are rarely able to locate them in time.
So Inspector Gregson was investigating one of those black markets.
It's been suggested that high-ranking government officials may be involved in black market activity. No doubt Gregson was trying to avoid details of his investigations being leaked to the involved parties. That would explain why he was operating on his own authority, without the Yard's knowledge.
And do we know where the dealings were taking place this time?
In a particular room of a certain exclusive London gentleman's club. And on the day in question, the accused is known to have been there. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation into the matter.
That can't be! You haven't heard anything about any of this.
Members of the club have testified to it. There's no question. The accused, Barack Van Ziek, was present. That would be a very significant testimony then.
Oh my, but Lord Van Ziek has made no mention of this at all.
In short, Lord Van Ziek had an ample opportunity to murder the victim. Clunk. Very well then, Counselor of the Defense, begin your cross-examination. Oh boy.
Oh, I gotta look this way he's looking at me, dude. All right, bring it on, Asougi. I'm gonna figure this shit out.
All right, Victor's movements.
All Yard detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told.
Hold it!
Then what's your excuse? So, you follow orders, do you, Gina?
Nah, not me. I'm above all that, see?
Oh.
The boss always had special orders for me. Grab us some fish and chips. We'll go and give Toby his grub. That kind of thing.
So errands more than orders, then?
This detective is still an apprentice after all.
Yeah, well, this apprentice ain't one to sit around and wait to be told what to do, even by the boss. That's why I've been doing my own investigation of what happened. I didn't find much at first.
Okay. But a little search of the boss's office turned up a note that had a load of secret meetings in it. Actually, hold on a second. So the autopsy got updated, right? Wait, not that one. This one. Indeterminate evidence suggests that measures may have been taken to disguise the time of death. No, this is all the same, right? Caliber of the gun used matches the standard issue firearms. Bullet exited the body from behind. Actually, I don't think it did change. I think it was just presented what we'd already gotten and like what she wrote down for us. It's got presented officially. It doesn't happen very often. Is there something else? I don't actually have that book that's in her hand right now, do I? No, I don't. But a little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook that had loads of secret meetings in it. So you went through Inspector Gregson's things?
Yup, as part of the independent Lestrade investigation.
I'm sure your superiors will be delighted that you're taking the initiative.
So I snuck into his office when no one else was about. Of course, if anyone at the odds had seen me going in there, they have turfed me straight out on the street.
This is sounding less and less like an investigation and more and more like something else.
The prosecution understands that it was this very detective who discovered the notebook.
You got that right. Nothing gets past Inspector Lestrade and his trusty assistant, Chief Inspector Toby.
Does she have the dog up there right now?
We found it hidden in one of the desk drawers that had a false bottom.
That's impressive.
So then I went to hide myself where no one could find me, so I could have a butcher's of what was written in it. Because if anyone at the yard found me out, they had me tough straight out on the street. I'm getting it in now, though, anyway. And if it weren't for me, it would never have been found.
According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggled goods dealings that day. Do you have any idea where those dealings were taking place?
Yup. It was all there in the boss's notes. Let's see if I can remember.
As I already said, the illegal dealings were due to take place at a gentleman's club.
Yes, I remember. But I was hoping to find out the name of the club.
That won't be necessary.
What?
It's conceivable the club might be used again by the smugglers in future. Therefore, the prosecution has been asked not to reveal the name in these proceedings.
It's a closed-off trial, though, for fuck's sake.
I don't know all the fuss about. It's right here. All I gotta do is read out. And I could too. We've got this reading game buttoned up now. Can I show you what I can do? Go on, what's that on?
The judge hasn't signaled his objection yet. I could try to find out. What should I do?
Yes, tell me.
We're in a closed trial anyway, come on. It's a closed court. The proceedings are confidential. There shouldn't be any possibility of the information being leaked.
As I explained, there is some possibility of politicians being involved in this affair. The The prosecution is rightfully exercising caution, I imagine. No, my lord. The prosecution has no objection. What?
Kazuma?
There's no question that Inspector Gregson was looking into these black market dealings. However, it's not yet been established that he was on that particular trail on the day in question. If the defense requires to know the club's name, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive.
Right then. I get to show off my reading skills.
That's funny. Okay.
Apparently the smuggled goods deal was gonna happen at a gentleman's club called the Grouse.
Okay.
The Grouse? What sort of club is that?
I ain't got the foggiest. Clubs ain't exactly my thing. But I am kind of curious.
They're not places where a foreign student like you would be readily admitted.
Have you looked in the mirror recently?
I tell you what, me and Inspector Toby could go on undercover.
Could you though?
I could pick out a few good marks and see what else I could find out while I was in there.
I really don't think you should go picking out anything. Anyway, that's where these black market dealings were going to take place, is it?
Yeah, it's gonna be. That's what the low-ranking detectives they all reckon.
Says the even lower ranked detective. Does that tie into something?
I noticed they didn't do a cleaning of my, look how many pages of shit I got here, man. They actually didn't do a cleaning of my evidence. I can't imagine I'm still be using this fucking picture here. I think this just kind of served its purpose. But that doesn't make sense. Last trial, last moment. They want me to really have to dig through this shit. I need the bunny already. I'm all out of options. I'm screwed. Save me, Iris. Oh yeah, I realized I was like, why has all my fluff dialogue been reset? It's because we technically started a new section. This is the final section of the game, so it's kind of reset all of my stuff here. Okay, seriously, do I still need these firecrackers at this point? Do I really still need these? Oh shit! I was like, I have no idea. Oh, the SS Grouse, first class cabin 001.
What? So Grouse is a boat? What the fuck?
Objection.
Yeah. Damn, I'm like, seriously, I have no idea what the fuck I'm supposed to do here. Oh shit, it's like I have to find Grouse somewhere. Oh, fuck me, what does this mean?
I've read about these clubs that exist here in Britain. As I understand it, they're places where well-to-do gentlemen socialize with friends and colleagues.
So it's all just aboard a boat? Is that what it's trying to say? Don't imagine for a second that a foreign student like you would be admitted.
Seriously, is your mirror cracked or something? Do we know for sure that the contraband dealings were definitely happening in a club called the Grouse?
The police are currently looking for evidence, but haven't found anything definitive yet.
And I'm sorry to say that they probably won't.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that the place Inspector Gregson was secretly going to visit on the 31st of October may not have been a gentleman's club at all.
You're showing a very irreverent attitude towards our country's police force there, Counsel. If it wasn't a gentleman's club, then what was it?
A steamship.
You think it's a ship?
I have the evidence to prove it.
Here! Behold! Look on the backside, by the way. Let me see that. This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy.
The other side, my lord.
Be more specific next time. Ah, this would appear to be a ticket for passage upon a steamship, yes. The SS Grouse.
Objection.
Objection! So there's a steamship named the Grouse that happens to share a name with the club. But I'm afraid to say, there's a flaw in your logic there.
How?
Look at the ticket. Notice the date of arrival in port. The ship arrived at the port of Dover on November 1st. Ah. The day on which the sound like a gunshot was heard on Fresno Street. In other words, on the day in question here, October 31st, when the victim was on his clandestine mission. that ship hadn't docked on British shores. That would certainly make an undercover investigation somewhat challenging.
Objection.
The fact that the steamship hadn't yet reached Britain substantiates the defense's assertion that the victim was investigating the SS Grouse on the day in question.
Then show your evidence for that assertion.
Very well.
Clunk. In that case, counsel for the defense, present your evidence to the court now. Evidence that substantiates your claim that the victim was investigating the SS Grouse on October 31st.
Because of his passport.
Take that!
What's this? A passport of travel issued to the victim. Dated October 31st. What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that just one day before the inspector's body was discovered, there's a distinct possibility he wasn't even in the country.
Ah! Order! Order! This document is for passage to France. It does appear to have been officially authorized.
The day before the SS Grouse arrived at Dover, it docked on the northern coast of France for a night.
According to my father, who was on board at the port of Dunkirk.
Dunkirk, France? What could possibly have taken the victim there? Ha 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 ha! I'm impressed, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I certainly didn't expect you to get your hands on that passport.
What? You mean you knew about this?
Well, yeah. The prosecution's strategy for this trial has been laid down by the Crown Prosecution Office. On the day before the incident, the victim was investigating contraband dealings at a London club. That's the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations and the line the prosecution has been asked to follow. Oh. But personally, I don't agree.
Oh, no, maybe it's this. This is what he was asking him to do.
I think the prosecutor's office is trying to hide something.
What?
And now that you've expertly disproven their assertion, I intend to reveal what I believe that something to be. What are you playing at, Prosecutor Asougi? A courtroom is a forum for the truth, my lord. Which is why it's my duty to present all the facts, without exception. Let me guess. This was your intention from the outset, wasn't it? The reason Inspector Gregson secretly made his way to the steamship docked in France on the day in question was to carry out a mission for the Reaper.
The Reaper?
Order! Order! What on earth are you saying, counsel? The prosecution made an assertion in court yesterday. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. As I'm sure everyone can imagine, by the Reaper's hand. But in reality, the truth is the opposite of that.
What?
Inspector Gregson wasn't investigating the Reaper at all. He was in fact acting for the Reaper.
So, you're saying the mission what he was undertaking was...
Obviously, an assassination. Wow. So he's the one to actually say this, though. Barack Van Ziek's never carried out any of the actual killings. Whenever the Reaper's victims lost their lives, he always had a cast iron alibi. Which tells us that he must have had an accomplice. And you claim that was Inspector Gregson.
Hold it! What the hell you think you're saying, eh? My boss would never do nothing like that!
And yet, when you consider all the facts, it all makes perfect sense.
No! It can't be! We also arrived at the same conclusion, didn't we? That Inspector Gregson was operating as the Reaper.
Yeah, because, Van Ziek's kind of told us to. Even so, there's no way the person giving him his orders was Lord Van Ziek's. No, the true Reaper is somebody else. Barack Van Ziek is not the Reaper.
A predictable response from someone who's advocating for the man.
And even if it's true that Gregson was operating as an agent of the Reaper, the suggestion that he went on board the SS Grouse on an assassination mission doesn't follow at all.
Oh, you have some solid reason for doubting the assertion, do you, counsel?
Absolutely. It's very simple. On the dang question, nobody was killed aboard that steamship. Professor Mikotoba and Judge Jigoku were on that very ship. If someone had been assassinated, I'm certain we would have heard about it. Psh! What's so funny?
You're right, of course. No suspicious deaths were reported on board the ship. But I think perhaps you've missed the point. That's precisely why Inspector Gregson himself lost his life.
What?
Gregson did board the SS Grouse that night with the intention of dispatching his mark. But his mission ended in failure.
Failure?
It seems that the defense hasn't yet grasped a very important detail here.
What are you talking about? What detail?
Inspector Gina Lestrade,
What?
the victim's notebook that you read an excerpt from earlier, that doesn't contain details of secret investigations at all. It describes 10 years of assassination plots to be carried out by the Reaper of the Bailey.
You're lying! Even if all them bludgers what got taken out had it coming! The boss? What the Reaper? Poor Gina.
There's no question that Tobias Gregson was heavily involved in the Reaper's activities. You may just be an apprentice, but if you spent just any time at Scotland Yard, you must have heard rumors.
I ain't heard nothing, and I don't believe a word of it.
Then testify again as a representative of Scotland Yard. Consider it your chance to defend your boss.
I don't.
I concur. The witness will give a new formal testimony. Miss Lestrade, you will tell the court everything you know about Inspector Gregson's secret notebook.
Well, if you look at me when you say it like that.
The Reaper's notebook.
Yeah, this notebook does have a load of stuff about what the Reaper got up to these past 10 years. Names of victims, dates and places and stuff. And the last entry in there was October 31st. It said grouse for the place on that date. And then the name of the mark. There was a note about him being a criminal who got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago or something. But honest, the boss didn't do none of it. He was just investigating the Reaper, that's all.
Aw. Keep personal opinion out of your testimony, witness. We require only established fact here.
This must be so hard for her.
You can't deny it now, surely, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What can't I deny?
The notebook contained the name of the final mark and the location where the assassination would take place. That's information that the victim could only have known if he was working with the Reaper.
Ah!
So, who was to be this final mark? Go ahead, Inspector Lestrade. Read the name for the court. The name that's written alongside the entry that mentions the grouse on October 31st.
How do you read this then?
Reading's still not her strong suit.
That ain't the problem, all right? Hold on!
How the hell did you hear me from all the way over there?
It's a funny name. It ain't English. It's hard to read.
So it's someone from overseas.
Let me have a bash at it. Hero. Is it?
Seshiro?
Yeah, Seshiro. Jigoku. Maybe?
What the hell? Judge Jigoku was on the hit list of this shit? Why? What the fuck does Judge Jigoku have to do with this at this point? Why would they want to off him? I mean, at this point, right? It's been like a billion years. Why would he need to die now?
I don't know.
What? It can't be. Seshiro Jigoku?
But that's Judge Jigoku.
Seshiro Jigoku. Certainly not an English name. You're right.
Objection.
But that can't be right. I know Judge Jigoku. I saw him the day before yesterday, here in London. So I know for a fact that the man hasn't been assassinated.
As I said, the Reaper failed.
Oh.
Gregson missed his chance to kill his mark and return to British shores. but the Reaper wouldn't tolerate the mistake, so he killed the inspector, personally. The Reaper, of course, being the accused, Barack Van Zieks. It's an undeniably logical argument.
Kazuma, you planned for the trial to go this way all along, didn't you?
Hold it!
Hold it! That's right, it's me. I'm over here.
You see my big fancy text there?
Wah! Talk to the leg, motherfuckers!
I still got it. Even on the goddamn stand, boy.
While drinking his fucking, while drinking from his holy grail, his holy chalice.
Pray, forgive the discourtesy of filling my hollow chalice, which I stand accused of murder.
God damn, I love this man so much.
Lord Van Zieks?
The accused has no right to speak uninvited in court. You will return to the dock.
I say nothing of whether or not I'm the Reaper. That's the task of this court to decide. But there is one thing I can say unequivocally. That girl is no detective.
What? No, that's right. I ain't. I'm an inspector.
Repeating rumors heard around the yard. Reading entries from a notebook of unconfirmed origin. That's not testimony. It's practically a script. No doubt the rest of this trial will go exactly as you clearly planned.
Wow. So cool, man. Van Zieks is so fucking cool.
Your hatred of me is understandable. In your mind, I'm sure I am the Reaper, who sent your father to the gallows all those years ago. But you're in danger of becoming a far more sinister Reaper yourself.
Oh shit. No, never mind. I'm wrong. Van Zieks is already pointing out. No, he's so he is actually starting to cross that line a bit, isn't he?
By attempting to have me condemned with this feeble excuse for testimony.
What did you say?
Mr. Naruhodo, this is our chance.
My lord, the defense requested the defendant be allowed to speak. He may be privy to important information relating to the testimony just given by the witness.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now that's a intimidating looking fucking stance there. Holy shit. You thought Judge Goku wielding his gavel was scary? Oh, dude. He got shit on this boy. Dang it. Very well. I'll make an exception and grant the request. The defendant may remain in the witness stand for the cross-examination.
Then allow me to toast the court's impartiality.
Don't raise your glass in my direction, sir. Counsel for the defense, begin the cross-examination immediately.
Okay, I need to hype myself up for this shit. Now once, my lord, Al.
Oh man, it's just getting crazy already. Okay. Yeah, this notebook does have a lot of stuff about what the Reaper got up to these past 10 years.
In other words, it shows that Gregson was basically acting as the Reaper.
Not you at all. That ain't the only explanation, is it? He could have been investigating the Reaper in secret. And that notebook said what he found out.
If I may, when originally people began referring to me as the Reaper, I didn't object. I believe the power to intimidate London's criminal classes into compliance with the law to be beneficial. But you carried out your own investigations into the true identity of the Reaper, didn't you? Yes, and those investigations proved conclusively that Gregson was one arm of the Reaper.
One arm? What are you on about?
The Reaper's victims were all extremely shrewd criminals at the top of their game. There's simply no way one person could have taken them on alone. The Reaper is an organization.
With you at its head.
No, dummy. I had spies at the yard keeping me abreast of Gregson's movements, letting me know when he was elsewhere. So I'd been able to check the most recent entry in his book. I knew the location. You knew it's at Grouse. Believing it to be a reference to the Gentleman's Club, I went there on the day in question to investigate. Alone.
I see. Oh, okay. So there actually is a Gentleman's Club called Grouse. Gotcha. That's how they got all mixed up.
So that explains why several members of the club claim to have seen you there.
But of course, the inspector was not there.
because at the time he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's middle trunk. Very well then, back to your testimony about the contents of this notebook.
Fine. Something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo. You seemed a little shocked by something a moment ago.
Oh, no. It's all right. I'm overthinking this, aren't I?
He pointed out the passport, right? Inside the metal... Interesting. How did he know it was in there, right? All I did was point out that I had this passport, right? Right? Or did I mention the metal trunk earlier? I don't know. Is that why he's reacting? Like, how did he know that that's where it was from? Like, did he already know about the passport? Names of the victims, dates and places and stuff. And the last entry in there was October 31st.
Names of victims, dates, places, and stuff. What in particular?
Well, beside the victims' names, this other name kept cropping up.
What other name was that?
It's the one I told you yesterday. The same name, written over and over again.
You mean Asougi?
Yeah, that's the one. She's a friend of yours or something, isn't she?
Were you even listening yesterday? Asougi, the assassin.
What? What? A killer, you mean? Oh, I hear the pun now. Oh, that's clever. That's clever, right, isn't it?
Gregson was the tactician, the one who came up with the plan of attack. He investigated the marks thoroughly, finding out when they would be vulnerable and who to use to get at them.
But the person actually executing his plans was someone else, you're saying? If that's true, then the Reaper does indeed start to sound like an organized group of vigilantes.
That perhaps what it said on the passport document. Permission for the applicant and the one additional person to travel. Could that additional person have been?
Clearly the assassin, who was meant to take Seshiro Jigoku's life. Oh. Really? I assumed it was for Gina to go over there. But I mean, she's already dead at this point, right? When did he get this passport? Or I guess, is this same, well, technically this passport's for multiple trips, right? It's not just like for one trip. Yeah, it's like, it's a passport. You use it again until it expires. So for one other person, so he has though made trips with her before. That's what it is.
Damn it. Gina, can you confirm that? I guess the final entry that listed Grouse and Seshiro Jigoku. What name was written?
Oh, well, that's the only entry that didn't leave a name next to it, as it happens.
What?
It just had like a question mark or something there. I think.
In other words, Gregson himself didn't know the identity of assassin in that case.
Oh, but Gregson was the one making the plans, was he not?
Oh, probably. Ooh, interesting. Because she was dead, so it had to be somebody else, right?
Oh, how infuriating.
A nameless assassin?
Who the fuck would that be? We're just saying that Judge Jigoku or something is actually one of the assassins, are we? Like, I'm trying to think about, like, we haven't seen him for a while, which is kind of weird. Wait, can I look at my profiles? Wait, can I not look at my profiles? I seemingly can't. Weird. I guess I gotta. It said Grouse was the place on the date, and then the name of the mark. They said the mark was Seshiro, though.
You're saying the mark listed was Seshiro Jigoku?
Here we go. I mean, who else would it be here? Male Strongheart. I don't think so. I don't think it'd be any of you. Barry Caden, maybe? It's this guy we've never seen before. Or maybe it's Venus. Or Mr. Sandwich. One of these dipshits. Or her. Oh, she's 19, okay. Actually, she's actually older than me. Susto. Actually, she'll be younger. I don't know.
You're saying the mark listed was Seshiro Jigoku?
That's what it said. Funny name, if you ask me.
I guess it listed him as a mark, though. So it's not like we're mixing it up and he was actually the assassin.
And although your name was on.
So pleased to have lost my crown there.
Mr. Jigoku was the presiding judge of Japan's Supreme Court of Judiciary. I remember the man. He came to our country as a visiting student 16 years ago.
Studying international law and diplomacy under your tutelage, Lord Strongheart.
That bearded young fellow was a very able man, I must say, and buff as fuck.
Lord Strongheart was Judge Jigoku's mentor.
Really? He was his mentor, huh? Actually, that does kind of raise some red flags, doesn't it? If I'm not mistaken, he returned to Japan 10 years ago now.
10 years ago, after that fateful case.
Precisely. In the aftermath of the Professor case, his repatriation was organized immediately. It's a mystery why such a man would be listed in the inspector's notebook.
I didn't think it was possible, but the mood near's got even worse now. Man, I'll just keep talking.
All right. There's a note about him being a criminal who got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago or something. Oh, I kind of glossed over that before. There was a note about him being a criminal what got away from the Reaper. But I mean, 10 years later? Like, what the fuck? Why did they wait so long? Now he's a judge over there too. I mean, that's like, it's hard to imagine you get away with that.
Hold it!
What do you mean a criminal? Judge Jigoku is no criminal.
But don't ask me, I don't know nothing about it. Oh, do you remember what Father told us? That Judge Jigoku did once appear in court here in Britain.
Yeah.
It was related to the Professor case, I'm sure.
Yeah, he like broke the stand or something.
Yes, of course. You're right.
Seshiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt, so he took to the stand to testify. But he got a little carried away and, actually managed to break the witness stand. He also says some contemptuous words about the British Empire, for which he was charged. Yeah, like, that's the thing though, like, that right there kind of makes me think, well, that he wouldn't be, like, on the side of the British Empire or fucking, Lord Strongheart, despite seemingly him being his mentor, right?
It was a pitiful situation, yes. I've forgotten all about it, but I prosecuted that trial too, as it happens.
You did?
It was considered to be an adjunct to the professor proceedings, you see. But he was acquitted after being told to make reparation for the damage caused to the stand.
So we duct taped it back together, and it's currently the stand you're seeing right here. That's why it wobbles a bit. And there you have it.
Have what?
Surely the accused hasn't forgotten his own rule. That there's no saving anyone who faces the Reaper in court, guilty or innocent alike.
What? No! Are you suggesting that the racist Judge Jigoku is targeted for assassination?
The man was sent back to Japan immediately after the trial. The Reaper had no time to do his work. But then, 10 years later, the mark returns to Britain once more. Oh, that's true. But the thing is that seemingly it has not mattered, right? Fucking Watson ate shit overseas. Him being overseas doesn't seem to be a factor at all. Or it shouldn't be. Right? So like, why should it matter now? Perhaps now you start to see just how vindictive the Reaper is.
Come on! That's absurd! To take someone's life for that?
Isn't the whole premise of the Reaper absurd? Killing those who have been found innocent. Clearly the rules by which the man operates are beyond the sane person's comprehension.
But...
Objection! Right! I've just had just about enough of this!
Gina?
All this nonsense about the boss planning to kill people! It's cobblers! Come on, Otto!
Yes?
Why ain't you saying nothing? Why ain't you yelling out objection or something?
What?
You gotta find a flaw. You do usually. Someone's lying here, no question. You gotta work out who it is. Please. For the boss.
Aw.
That outburst was an insult to the court and to your own testimony. I might have known that a common pickpocket from the back slums couldn't make a detective. Damn, dude. When this trial is over, you will forfeit your warn card, Mr. Strahd. Is that clear?
I've had it with the lot of you. It's the last ever bleeding place to look at this world, ain't it? Well, I've had enough. Gina.
So have I. After that little speech of Gina's, I've made up my mind.
To do what, Mr. Naruhodo?
There was one point in this cross-examination when something that was said just didn't sit right with me. One statement that seemed odd.
Yeah, what Asougi said earlier, right?
Oh? Do you mean?
I'm not gonna let Gina's plea for help fall on deaf ears.
Come on, I'll help. You go find a floor somewhere.
Interesting. So, we going back, or... I don't know, though. Maybe I should just go ahead and press her here.
Hold it!
I want to thank you, Gina. You helped me find my resolve.
What do you mean?
Amongst everything we've heard during this cross-examination, there's one thing that defies explanation. One inconsistency.
What? An inconsistency?
Really, Aldo?
I don't quite know what it means yet, but... yes, there's an inconsistency in something that was said by...
Yeah.
Take that!
you. By you, Kazuma Asougi.
Me? Is this some attempt at filibustering, counsel? Prosecutor Asougi has given no testimony. What are you suggesting I said that was inconsistent?
You let something slip that you shouldn't have. When I present the relevant piece of evidence, I imagine you'll realize what you've done.
Very well then, counsel. Go ahead. What evidence reveals this alleged inconsistency in something Prosecutor Asougi has said? The box.
Take that!
This is a trunk that belonged to Inspector Gregson.
A metal construction, is it? It's certainly very heavy. What's this? A bloodstain. And a relatively fresh one, too.
What? You mean that ain't Grace from all the boss's fish and chips?
Fresh blood on the inspector's trunk. That suggests that the victim was traveling with that luggage when he was killed.
That can't be. There was no mention of any trunk in Scotland Yard's report.
Yes, there's a reason for that. Immediately after the inspector's body was discovered, one of the street peddlers made off the trunk, hoping to sell it.
But I found it! Me! With me nose for trouble!
Huh.
Which means that nobody should have known anything about the trunk. Ah, unless, of course, we're talking about somebody who was present when the victim was killed.
Oh, wow. What? What the fuck? Oh, what the fuck?
And yet, during the cross-examination of the witness just now, you said this, Kazuma.
Because at the time, he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk.
So the question is, how did you know about the inspector's trunk?
Was he the one that accompanied Gregson? We know the man went on a trip to France. Where else would he have put his passport?
Objection!
That's not bullshit, but you knew it was a metal trunk. Answer me honestly, Kazuma. On the 31st of October, where exactly were you?
At the port of Dunkirk, on board the SS Grouse. Is that the answer you're looking for, Ryunosuke?
Kazuma, what did you... I hadn't considered the possibility before, but if Kazuma was there on the ship, then it can only have been for one purpose.
Oh no, Mr. Naruhodo. Surely you don't think...
Ah, ha, 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 ha. Come on, Ryunosuke. You know the rules. The only thing that really talks in the courtroom is hard evidence. As I understand it, Inspector Gregson always took that case with him when he traveled. As it stands, you proved nothing.
Kazuma. Are you challenging me to prove it beyond all reasonable doubt that you were there that day, in the same place as the inspector? He was there with Gregson. There's a clue that you've overlooked, a secret that Trunk can tell us. I can't be sure at this point. I'll need to verify it, but I have a nasty feeling that I'm going to be right.
The accusation being made is deeply disturbing, but nevertheless, we must test it. Do I have to check the trunk again? This gash here? No, nothing different than we already saw. Defense will identify for the core where in the trunk this alleged clue is to be found. Where's the evidence that ties Prosecutor Asougi to Inspector Gregson? The gash on the side?
Got it!
Got it!
This is your proof. What do you say to that, Prosecutor Asougi? Personally, I'm wrong. I think you're tying the defense counsel to the inspector's trunk and tossing it in the sea would be more helpful.
What?
At least that way, London's courtrooms will be safe from his destructive accusations. Ah, shit. Bonk. Okay, well, we got a stain. Open this thing up, too. I mean, it's the passport itself? No. The fuck is it? Is the blood stain? It's the only thing in here that we've uncovered.
Got it!
What the hell? What is it? There's like not that much here.
What the hell am I missing? So it's not the gash, it's what? I have to be missing something. Is there a secret compartment? Did I try that earlier? No, I don't see anything.
Oh, do you see that? There's something that's stuck on the side of the trunk there. It's glinting.
It's like a fragment of metal of some sort. But it's wedged in so tightly I can't remove it.
Don't cut yourself. You better leave it, I think.
Oh, I checked the gash, but it's not. Oh, there's actually something stuck in there. I didn't actually investigate it. Oh, interesting. I actually wonder if maybe I wouldn't have had to do this if I had found it earlier. Because this is definitely here.
Got it!
There's a small piece of metal lodged in the wall of the trunk here, like the tip of a blade.
A blade?
Kazuma, slung around your waist as ever today is the esteemed blade Karuma.
Of course it is.
Won't you draw it here in this courtroom, and also your other sword, because you have another one, for all to see? Exercise caution, my learned friend. That man is the son of London's most notorious killer.
Bailiff, watch Prosecutor Asougi like a hawk. That won't be necessary. Oh. The tip of the blade!
Oh no.
The tip is broken. If the fragment of metal from the trunk fits together with the end of the sword, the question of who was there with Inspector Gregson will be answered. Agreed. Kazuma Asougi.
What the fuck, dude? Expertly done, Ryunosuke. That's a point to you, and well deserved. I think the enemy has got the point. Do you mean to tell the court, Prosecutor Asougi? Yes. On October 31st, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission.
So the additional person authorized to travel
Was me. And the mission was the assassination of the Mark.
What? What?
What the fuck? Okay, that I definitely didn't see coming.
You mean you're the killer whose name was omitted from this notebook? You were following the Reaper's orders to dispatch Goku?
Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I have killed no one. Explain. I accepted the assassination mission, yes, and I accompanied Gregson to Dunkirk. But I never had any intention of carrying out the plan.
You were never going to do it.
You can believe Kazuma-sama, I'm sure. After all, Goku arrived safely in London the following day.
On the 31st, I boarded a train from London with Inspector Gregson. We traveled to Dover, from where we crossed the channel to Dunkirk. Then we boarded the SS Grouse and made for the cabin deck, as indicated in the plan.
You went to Judge Shigoku's cabin?
Exactly. He wasn't there, though. We decided to wait, but
you've already told us you had no intention of going through with it anyway.
I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life. So I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. I spent that night at a boarding house in the town and returned to England the following morning.
A boarding house? In Dunkirk?
My signature will be in the register book. It would be simple enough to verify. Then, what became of Jigoku? Gregson was no assassin, so the mark was spared.
So then why is your sword in the side of his fucking trunk?
I'm sure it's easy enough to imagine what happened after that. Gregson returned to England as well, having failed to complete the mission. He met with the Reaper in that room on Fresno Street to report the failure, causing the infuriated mastermind to pull the trigger.
Ah, take that, Gregson. Ah, I'm so evil. Ah.
And ended his wretched agent's life. That's the real truth behind Inspector Gregson's murder. Objection!
But if you did nothing as you claim, how did the tip of your sword come to be lodged in the inspector's trunk?
I slipped. I don't need to answer that. The victim was killed by a gunshot. A small fragment of a Japanese blade isn't relevant to the case.
What?
Wow. Wow, Asougi. Wow, dude. And accordingly, I choose to exercise my right to silence on that matter.
Wow. Holy shit, man. Whoa.
Okay, I was super wrong. Never mind. Asougi's, his keeping quiet, man, is, telling. Right, I thought it was still pretty honorable. Maybe not. Maybe not anymore. Be that as it may, the court will sequester the sword as evidence. As you wish, my lord. The great sword Karuma.
The illustrious blade passed down through generations of the Asougi clan. The prized sword's tip has a small piece missing.
We must take immediate action now. But first, let's have a look.
Karuma, the great blade. It's such a thing of beauty. I want to gaze on it for hours. The tip of the great sword, broken. Such a shame. It's been so meticulously cared for over the years. By me! I can almost hear Karuma's sobs. Kazuma must have really taken a swing for that to happen.
Anything else? No, seemingly not. To verify whether Cicero Jigoku remains unharmed.
What? Remains unharmed?
I agree. That should be our first priority. It's recently come to my attention that he hasn't been seen since yesterday.
How did you...
When a foreign dignitary invited to Great Britain goes missing for 24 hours, it's only natural that the question of his safety should arise.
You don't mean to say that you think Judge Jigoku may have been killed?
The Reaper has more than one assassin at his disposal, and he has the power and influence to give orders from the inside of a prison cell. Isn't that right, Lord Van Zieks?
If I were truly the Reaper, I'd be able to tell you.
Damn. Order. Order in the court. Order! We will take an emergency recess for 30 minutes.
Now?
Guests of the symposium have been told to maintain regular contact with the organizer's office. If the man can't be located within half an hour, we will have to assume the worst.
Oh no, not just Jigoku.
No one would want to kill a harmless Japanese man who'd only just arrived in the country.
I don't know about harmless, dude. That guy's buff as fuck. He will fuck you up.
Except that is for the Reaper wanting to finish off a mark that slipped through the net 10 years ago. I would have to agree. Mr. Naruhodo, for the defense's sake,
My lord?
I sincerely hope we are successful. If we're unable to confirm Mr. Jigoku's healthy existence in the next 30 minutes, you will face grave difficulties. Oh man. Court is adjourned for 30 minutes. Well, good timing. Well, never mind. Hope we get it to be continued here. I was last day, I was like, this is good timing. This is a nice size episode. Wait.
Kazuma-sama, the Reaper's assassin? It feels as though I'm in a nightmare.
I could hardly believe it either. But on the other hand, Kazuma isn't in the habit of making up stories.
I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. If something awful has happened to just Jigoku, then I feel as though things will only spiral further and further out of control.
I felt it from the moment I stepped into the courthouse this morning. That strange sensation that we were careering towards a foregone conclusion. Well, in the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Unfortunately, though, I don't think there's anything we can do but wait now. We're out of options.
Maybe that's what Holmes and Mikotoba were doing. They were looking for just Jigoku.
Actually, there may be one last hand we can play. Or rather, one last ear.
Of course! Oh my god! The little Mr. Holmes stole Iris gave us.
I thought I was going to wait till like the very, very end.
Hello! If for some reason you completely ran out of options in the trial today.
Was it going to do like summon Holmes? Shut the Holmes signal?
No, Holmesy! Then just pull his little Holmesy ears as hard as you possibly can.
Perhaps now is the time.
No, not yet!
Oh, never mind.
What should I do? Pull Holmes' ears or not?
Pull that shit. Fuck it.
Here goes then. I'm gonna do it.
Good luck, Mr. Naruhodo.
No looking back. Heave! Ow!
That scream sounded like Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes? Where are you? Here, my dear fellow, here. Hello. I'm inside the bunny. It's the filter talking! Ah!
Pull the ears again, Mr. Naruhodo, as hard as you can.
All right, then. I'll pull all my strength into it. Ow! Please, my dear fellows, you don't need to pull my ear off. What the hell? Mr. Holmes, where are you? Myself and my trusty partner are presently in the first-class cabin area of the SS Grouse. The SS Grouse? She left over last night after the final pieces of cargo were loaded.
The hell, you ever if I could sell your signal or some shit? Don't worry, I've got 5G, Mr. Naruhodo.
We are currently docked in Dunkirk, but due to be underway again in half an hour. You've taken a ship to France? Please, even with my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump the Straits of Dover. After we left Baker Street last night, we hurried by cab to the station and by train to the port, in order to board this vessel in time. So, you mean you'd already worked it out? The steamship was where everything really took place. Mr. Naruhodo, pray, what is my name? Sherlock Holmes, world-famous great detective. Recited to perfection, well done.
You're a genius, Mr. Holmes. That's the only word for it.
Oh, ow. Miss Susato, gently with this genius's ear, please.
Ow. Oh my, I'm ever so sorry.
If I may, Holmes.
Ah, there you are, Mikotoba.
You may remember that it was in fact I who made the connection to the SS Grouse. At Scotland Yard yesterday, when we examined the notebook and I recalled my steamship ticket. Aha. But of course it was, my dear fellow.
And not once did I controvert that fact. I merely had our court-bound companions under my name.
Yes, you did, didn't you?
We've just entered a recess. The trial resumes in 30 minutes from now.
If we're unable to present any new leads, then I'm afraid to say.
Do not fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I have made this journey. I have no doubt we shall have welcome news for you within the half hour. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. That will be wonderful. Until later, then. Yes, you'll be hearing from us if you're not in touch first.
Ow.
I shan't be hearing anything if you keep tugging my ear in that mindless fashion.
This thing just, what this thing actually is pulling on his ears. I thought it was like the actual sound of it was so loud. Why does it do that? It's crazy. I guess it's just to get his attention. It's like somebody pulls the ears, it causes this thing to pull his ear. Whatever was the idea behind making a receiver operated in that way in the first place, Holmes? Why the deuce would I know? It's ours' invention, not mine. What the deuce? Yes, I know how much you enjoy being the hero of the hour, Holmes. We have but half that now before the grouse puts to sea again. If we don't conclude our investigations rapidly, we shall find ourselves in Naples before long. Oh, am I controlling NicoB now? I was like, why? I'm actually in his perspective, aren't I? There are times, NicoB, when you make a surprising amount of sense. So, let us begin. Hey, look, it's that guy again. First class cabin number 2. Yes, it's the one. But I don't believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be plain sailing. I'm back. It's Arnold. That crewman standing in front of the door is an angry-looking fellow. Why are you loitering here? Who are you? It's this guy, the guy with originally the sunburn all over him.
My dear fellow, do you not recognize the world-famous great detective when you see one? The question really ought to be, who are you?
Do you not recognize world-traveling great sailor Ziek and Stroganoff when you see great detective? Ha! I don't think so. Sure, he has our Holmes written on his arm.
Oh. Do you see that, NicoB? It would appear that this man is a devoted follower of mine.
Goodness me, is that a tattoo that says Holmes?
I must say, with such adoration is flattering naturally, it does leave me a little cold.
What are you talking about? Leave now.
How distressing. My loyal devotee knows me only by name and not by appearance. And yet I already know a great deal about you, sir. You have a brother, I believe. Like yourself, he's a shipman. Currently traveling the world aboard a Russian steamship, in fact.
Oh, his brother.
How could you know this?
Elementary, my dear NicoB.
Yes, wait. It wasn't him that said that. It was the other guy. I'm sure it was. Hey, he said the thing. He said the thing. 3 days ago, I was bound for London aboard the ship, you see. We're looking for one of my fellow passengers, a man by the name of Shigoku.
There is no one with this name on board.
But we know that he purchased a ticket for passage.
Ah, you mean Eastern Man. He left ship 2 hours ago. Here at Dunkirk. He said something about emergency, I think.
What? Are you sure? So Seshiro's realized that we're after him, has he?
This cabin is the one behind you. We should like to investigate, please.
No! I have orders not to even let a mouse inside.
What? We're on to him? Oh my god, what the fuck, dude? No, was I actually right? It actually is him that's actually maybe the assassin? Or a bad guy or whatever? Shigoku, did you do us dirty? Are you doing us dirty?
NicoB, be a good man and draw the sailor's attention away, would you? Make up some excuse so that he leaves the area.
You said that right in front of him, for God's sakes.
Doesn't great detective see that even sailors have ears, both left and right?
Damn, you were listening? Curses! The plan is ruined!
And you have only yourself to blame, I'm afraid, Holmes.
Forget it. Cabin door is locked. Even if I am not here, you cannot get inside.
NicoB, I'm sure you haven't forgotten my special talent, have you?
Opening any lock?
Within a mere 5 seconds. So if you'd be so kind as to afford me the requisite time, old friend, in your typically accommodating manner.
How could I refuse a typically unappealing request, old friend? So I need to distract that burly sailor for 5 seconds, do I?
Good man. So, the game is afoot.
Oh, here we go. Okay. I was like, dude, how long is this gonna go on for? No, I am controlling him. I can't look at my court record, though. Okay, this is a good fucking place to stop. This is already gonna be a hefty episode. Holy shit, dude. What the fuck? So, He's making a run for it? What the fuck is Jigoku doing? Okay, never mind. I guess we still have investigations after all. But this is so clever, dude. Fuck. So clever to have Mikotoba be the investigation, right? To help out an additional section. And it's great because now we actually get to see Holmes and Mikotoba working together. We actually get to see the classic Watson and Holmes duo together at last, right? That's such a smart way to do it, man. Fuck, dude, this game's so good. This game's so good. This episode's also so long, so I'm gonna end it here for now, guys. But anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I'm excited. If you did, please leave a like and a favorite. It really does help me out, especially for these big, thick-ass episodes that take forever to edit. And, oh my God, please. And also subscribe if you're not ready to become Piggy Penguin aboard this LP, where the days are always sunny and the vids are always funny. And as always, guys, till next time, stay classy.